Visitor visa of parents. This is the topic of today. Today we are going to discuss each and every bit about visitor visa application of parents. If you are already in Canada on study visa or on work permit, in that case you can apply for visitor visa of your parents. Also, if you have already received PR or citizenship of Canada, in that case as well you can apply for visitor visa, but you have one more option, that is super visa. So we are going to discuss on that part as well. Visa acceptance rate of parents visitor visa is usually more than 80%, as their prospects of returning home are usually very strong. They are well settled in their home country. Their age is mostly more than 50 and they do not put asylum applications in Canada in most cases. So parents usually carry really high acceptance rate for their visitor visa applications. In this particular video, I am going to discuss each and everything about the visitor visa application of parents, including what kind of documents to be attached, what kind of events or reasons can be there to apply for their visa, how to show their funds, and can you apply for the siblings as well along with the parents visitor visa application. So to understand everything related to visitor visa application of parents, watch this video till the end. Hello everyone, welcome back to this YouTube channel Globexa Immigration. This is Tender Grover. In this video, I am discussing everything related to visitor visa application of parents. So to start with, who should apply for the visitor visa? Of course, parents and grandparents, they can apply for visitor visa as parent or grandparent. Yes, it is allowed. It is not a problem. They are the direct family members of someone who has a study permit in Canada or work permit in Canada. Of course, if you have the PR or citizenship of Canada, in that case as well, you can apply for visitor visa of parents. That is allowed. But I have cut it because you should apply for super visa as the primary application. In super visa, your parents are going to get 5 years of state visa and they can live in Canada for 5 years in one go. So that is a better visa category for your parents rather than visitor visa application, because in visitor visa they can stay in Canada at max for 6 months. They can extend it, but initially they will be allowed to live in Canada for 6 months. But in super visa, they can live in Canada for 5 years in one go, and it is also a multiple entry visa. So super visa is a better visa category if you are eligible. I have made a detailed video on super visa. So if you have PR or citizenship of Canada, in that case you must apply for super visa of your parents. And in that video as well, I have explained everything in detail. So if you want to know more about super visa, then watch that video. Link is given in the description. But if you are not eligible for super visa, in that case you need to apply for visitor visa. So if you have the PR or citizenship of Canada, then also you can apply for visitor visa of your parents. That's also allowed. But usually if you have study visa or work permit, then you can apply for visitor visa of your parents. Work permit can be of any type of work permit. Study visa can be of any type of study visa. Everything is fine. So if you have any temporary visa which is not a visitor visa, then you can call your parents in Canada. There is a specific visa category for that given in the portal, and you can call your parents. It's not a problem. Work permit can be open work permit or closed work permit. We are going to discuss about it in detail. But if you are having any of the visa categories in Canada, in that case you can call your parents and they can visit you. They can stay with you for 6 months. You can extend it later on. So that's how you can apply for it. So you can call your parents in Canada if you are on any of these visa categories. Next question is, should you apply for both the parents together? If you have both the parents alive and if you want to apply for both of them, then should you submit their applications separately or should you apply for them together? Usually I apply for both of them together in one application, and one will become the primary applicant and the other one will become the secondary applicant. Usually father is the primary applicant and mother is the secondary applicant, but both the applications are submitted together and they get result together as well. Next, how to choose your primary applicant if both the parents are applying together? In that case, primary applicant is the one who is having more income, more funds, more assets. So you can see who is having more income right now, doing job or business right now. If the business is on the name of mother and mother is having more income, then you can make your mother as the primary applicant. It doesn't matter whether your father is doing or running that business, but if the business is on the name of your mother, then this income or this business belongs to your mother. So your mother should become the primary applicant. If the assets, fixed assets, are on the name of mother, then also combining everything, whosoever is having more powerful portfolio on paper, in real, your father may be having a stronger portfolio, but on paper, your mother may be having a stronger portfolio. Your mother may be having the assets, fixed assets on her name, having the family business on her name. In that case, your mother should become the primary applicant, because visa officer is going to judge everything based on the documents which we are going to submit. And if on paper your mother is having a stronger portfolio, in that case your mother should become the primary applicant and your father should become the secondary applicant. But on the other hand, if your mother is a housewife and nothing is there on her name, she is not doing any job, she is not doing any business, and your father is managing everything, in that case you can make your father as the primary applicant. One more scenario is possible where both of them are not doing anything. In that case you can make anyone as the primary applicant. It's your wish, because both are not earning, not working, and funds are also equal, assets are also equal, so everything is equal, so you can choose any of them as the primary applicant. Although we have discussed that you should apply for both the parents together, but there is one situation: if one of your parents have served in army or police, in that case you should apply for them separately. You should not engage both of them together in one application. It can become a problem for you, because in these type of cases there is a scrutiny. Means sometimes there is state refusal without even assessment of the applications, but we have seen in past that there can be a scrutiny and it can go for 1 year as well. So this can become a problem. So in those kind of scenarios, it's better that you apply for them separately, so that application of your father, if your father has served in police or army or any of the armed forces, in that case your father's application should not become a burden on the application of mother. So you can apply for both of them separately, and their application can go separately. Your mother can get visa easily and your father can have a deeper scrutiny for the application. So there can be different type of processings for both these parents. So in this case it's better that we separate their application and apply for them separately. But if this army or police job profile is not there, in that case it is better to submit both the applications together. Next is, what should be the reason to apply for visitor visa? There should be a reason. Why do you want to visit your children in Canada or child in Canada? Then what should be the reason in that? So there can be many type of reasons. Some can be happy reasons, some can be sad reasons, or different other reasons can also be there. Or even without a reason, you can apply for visitor visa. As a parent, you are just missing your child and you want to visit your child, so that can be a reason as well. It's not a problem at all. So if we don't get any of these reasons, in that case we go ahead and submit the application for the parents. It's not a problem. We can just say that okay, we are missing each other and we want to meet, and there is no occasion coming, but okay, still emotional reason is always there and we can apply based on the emotional reason. It's not a problem. But if there is a reason involved, in that case it always improves your visa chances. One more thing to keep in mind: whenever you are applying for your visitor visa, always have 3 to 4 months of time. So if the event is coming, it should be coming after 4, 5, 6 months. It's always better. If it is coming after 2 months, 3 months, at least this much of time should be there. Even though the timeline of visitor visa right now in India, it is approximately 10 to 15 days, still if the event is coming after 4 to 5 months, it always improves your visa chances. If the event is coming next month, in that case, by the time visa officer is assessing your application, visa officer may be able to see that your event is about to come. You may not be able to reach Canada to join that particular event. So there is no point granting you visa. So it's better that you get some event which is coming after 3 to 4 months, and it always improves your visa chances. So what kind of events can be there? So whenever you sit and decide, okay, we want to apply for visitor visa of parents, what are the events coming in our family? So what kind of events can be there? Birthday of the child in Canada. So if you are in Canada, you want to sponsor your parents and you want to call your parents, in that case your birthday can be there. Next is birthday of the grandchild in Canada. So suppose you are living in Canada, you want to call your parents, but the event coming can be your child. If the birthday of your child is coming who is in Canada, in that case it can become a reason as well. So for a parent, it can be the birthday of the child in Canada, grandchild in Canada. So this can be a reason. Birthday of any parent, father or mother. So if I am applying for my visitor visa as a parent, in that case my birthday is coming, my wife's birthday is coming. So parents who are applying for visitor visa, their birthdays can be the reason, and these are the happy reasons. So you can say that we want to celebrate our birthday in Canada. You can say that we want to celebrate the birthday of our child in Canada, grandchild in Canada. So these can become the reason. Marriage anniversary of child and spouse in Canada. So if your child is living in Canada, in that case his marriage anniversary, his or her marriage anniversary can be a reason. That's also fine. Then marriage anniversary of parents. So it can be if I am the parent, in that case my marriage anniversary can also be there. So we want to celebrate our marriage anniversary in Canada. So that can also be there. But in this case, whenever you are saying we want to celebrate our marriage anniversary as parents in Canada, then you should apply for both the parents together. You cannot apply alone for one parent and say that I want to celebrate my marriage anniversary without my wife. So you should apply for both the parents together, and both of them can say together that we want to celebrate our marriage anniversary in Canada. So that can be a reason for visitor visa application, really good reason. Convocation ceremony. Usually people apply for convocation ceremony of their child if your child is about to complete study. Recently we have applied for so many students who are going to complete their study in April 2025. And for them we have applied and we have got the visitor visa of parents because the convocation is going to happen in May or June, and we have applied now for the visitor visa of parents, and they are going to travel in May or June whenever the convocation is going to happen. So convocation ceremony of the kids, if your kid has completed study in Canada or is about to complete study in Canada, so this can become a really good reason for the visitor visa application of parent. Next is birth of a child in Canada. Suppose your child, your son is living in Canada, your daughter-in-law is in Canada, and they have a newborn baby now. So you can say that, okay, there is a newborn baby, we haven't met our grandchild and we want to meet our grandchild and we want to support our family in Canada. That can also become a really good reason. Birth of a child in Canada, so it will be your grandchild. So that's how you can apply for visitor visa. That's also a really good reason. Marriage or finalization of marriage of your child in Canada. So you can say that my child is getting married in Canada. There can be n number of reasons. I have mentioned a few which are really popular, which we usually see. Usually these reasons work for us. So marriage or finalization of marriage of your child. So if your child is already in Canada and your child is going to get married in Canada, in that case you can say that, okay, my child is getting married in Canada. This is the boy or the girl with whom my child is going to get married, and to attend the marriage ceremony I need to be in Canada. For that you can apply for your visitor visa. Or the finalization of marriage. So there can be a situation where you want to finalize everything related to the marriage and to fix everything just like an arranged marriage. For that you can say that, okay, I want to visit my child in Canada and I want to finalize and fix everything related to the marriage. So related to the marriage, you can give this reason for your visa application, and these are really happy and strong reasons for visa applications, and mostly people get visa with these reasons. It's not a problem at all. Next reason can be a sad event for us. What kind of sad event? Death anniversary of one parent. If one of the parents have died, in that case we can say that we want to complete the rituals on the death anniversary of one of my parents. If your father has died, it can be the death anniversary of your father. If your mother has died, it can be the death anniversary of your mother. We in India we call it Barsi. So on the Barsi, which is the death anniversary of one of the parent, you can say that I am applying for the visitor visa of the other parent, so that me and my mother, both of us together, we can do the death anniversary, all the rituals. So this Barsi, whatever rituals we need to do, we can do it on the death anniversary. So this can be a reason. It is a sad event, but for visitor visa of one of the parents, you can use it as an event. Hospitalization or health issues. If you are already in Canada but you are facing hospitalization or health issues, a sad event, not really happy event, but for that as well you can apply for the visa. And these two are also the strong reasons for visitor visa of parents. Then pregnancy and due date in future. So if you are pregnant and due date is there in next 4-5 months, in that case you can call your parents and they can visit you on visitor visa. It's also not a problem. So it is also a strong reason to get visitor visa of parents. So pregnancy can be a reason. For that you can get a letter from the doctor that your due date is so and so. It can work as a proof of your pregnancy. So your daughter can be pregnant or your daughter-in-law can be pregnant. In that case you can visit your child in Canada. That's also a good reason. If none of these reasons are there, in that case anytime based on the emotional reasons as well, we can apply for visitor visa of parents. So parents usually do not need a reason to meet their child. So it's their right, so they can do it. So without even having a reason, you can apply for visitor visa based on the emotional reasons as well. And visa acceptance rate in this case is also really high. But if you are having a reason, then it is even far higher. So if a reason is there, go with the reason. If reason is not there, still proceed for the application, and no need to stop application in any scenario. If the reason is there, give it. If it is not there, give the emotional reason and apply for visa. After the reason of application, the next question is, should I apply for visitor visa as a parent if child's permit is valid for next 2-3 months? The answer is, it depends upon the scenario. So if your child is a student in Canada or has completed the study in Canada and you are applying for the convocation and your child has applied for the extension, in that case must have applied for PG work permit. In that case, yes, it is not a problem. If the visa is pending, permit is pending for 2 to 3 months, still it is not a problem. Based on the convocation reason, you can apply for it. It is not a problem at all. Second, as the extension or PGWP, some of the application is already applied, so there is a guarantee or there is some kind of surety that your child is going to get the extension. You can attach that extension letter along with your application. So there is no problem if child is a student and applied for PG work permit or study permit extension. In that case, even if permit is pending for just 2 to 3 months, still you can apply for visitor visa. It's not a problem. But if your child is on work permit and there is no extension application, it is going to get over, it is going to get finished. There is no extension application now. In that case, do not apply for visitor visa. There is high probability that just 2 to 3 months of visa is pending, work permit is pending for your child, and there is no extension application, it can become a problem. Usually in this scenario, I recommend to extend your work permit and then apply for visitor visa of parents. That will be a better scenario. But if we have applied for extension of any sort, in that case, it's not a problem again. So if any extension application is there, even if your permit is expiring anytime soon, still you can apply for the parents. It's not a problem. But if you are not applying for any kind of extension, then it is a problem. If 2 to 3 months of permit is pending for you and your parents are going to join you after 3-4 months, how it is possible? Because after 2-3 months, you will not be allowed to stay in Canada. How you are calling your parents on visitor visa to meet you? So that will become a problem. So you need to do your due diligence. As I have already explained earlier, if you are applying for visitor visa of parents, apply and plan for them 3 to 4 months before the event. So it should be 3 to 4 months before. But if your visa is expiring, permit is expiring in next 2 to 3 months, then how you are going to plan their visit after 4 months? That will become a problem. So if your permit is expiring in next 2 to 3 months, in that case you need to think carefully that how you are applying for the visa of your parents, when they are going to visit, whether there is enough time to get their visa before the event or not. So all those things should be there in your mind when you are applying for the visitor visa of your parents. Next big question is, what is the length of visitor visa and how long applicant can stay in Canada on visitor visa? So many people nowadays, because Canada has stopped giving multiple entry visas to everyone, so the new rules related to visitor visa should not worry parents, because they are still getting the same kind of visa, 10 years of multiple entry visa. And in fact, even if you get single entry visa for a shorter duration, in that case as well, once you enter in Canada, once you visit Canada for one time, you come back to your home country. After that, you can anytime apply for your visitor visa again. It's not a problem. You will get a 10 years multiple entry visa. So it is not a problem for the parents. So parents are still getting the same 10 years of multiple entry visa, but we do not control that. There is no option to select that we want to apply for 10 years of multiple entry visa, single entry visa, or 5 years of visa. No, we can't select that. It is decided by default by the visa officer and we can't interfere in that. There is no option in immigration form to decide about it. So it is not in the control of consultant. Many people come to me and they say that we just want to get 10 years of multiple entry visa. We don't want to get single entry visa. Dear, we don't decide that. We can just apply for the visa in the best possible ways with the all possible documents and SOP, everything. But there is no option to select 10 years multiple entry visa. So that option is not there. It is decided by the visa officer, but still usually parents right now are getting 10 years of multiple entry visa. So it should not create any problem for you. You should get the same way it was there earlier before the rule of single entry visa or lesser duration of visa. So it is not a concern for the parents. Second is, you can visit multiple times if visitor visa is valid. Usually it is a multiple entry visa for the parents and it is not a problem. You can go to Canada any number of times. It's a multiple entry visa in most cases. You can stay in Canada for 6 months in single entry. Whenever you enter in Canada, you can stay there for 6 months. So you may be saying in the plan, usually what parents do, in the plan we write that we are going to visit just for 1 month. But parents stay in Canada for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, even more than 6 months as well. You can extend it multiple times for a longer stay in Canada. So if you want to stay there for more than 6 months, it is possible. You need to extend your visitor visa, and after the extension you can stay there for more than 6 months as well. Usually we apply for the extension after 5 months. So 5 months of stay, then in 6 months we apply for the extension. Then usually you get the extension of 6 months and it becomes 11 months of time. Then we can apply for the extension again. So if visa officer grant you extension again, then it will be again 6 months of time. It will become 17 months. So that's how you can keep staying in Canada. It is allowed, but it all depends upon visa officer. It is not guaranteed. It all depends upon visa officer to grant you visa here, grant you visa here. So if extension is granted, then you can keep staying. There should be a strong reason for that. Of course, if that is not there, then visa officer can refuse the extension application. But in most cases for parents, extension is granted and you can keep staying in Canada for a longer period. It is allowed. If the extension application is refused, then you can leave Canada and you can come back to your home country, stay in your home country for 1 or 2 months, and then you can go back to Canada again. So it is possible, it's not a problem. So if the extension is approved, keep staying. If extension is not approved, come back to the home country and then go back after 1 to 2 months of stay in the home country. Next, this I have already explained how to get extension of visitor visa. So we need to submit extension application from inside Canada. Usually we do it in 6 months. I have already explained this. You need to submit medical examination as well, because whenever you are going to stay in Canada for more than 6 months, then in that case you need to have a medical examination, whether you are applying for a super visa, whether you are applying for study visa, work permit, any visa where the length of visa is more than 6 months, then you need to submit a medical examination. Because when you apply for visitor visa, the length of stay is 6 months, you don't require a medical in that scenario. But whenever we are going to extend visitor visa, length is going to be more than 6 months. That's why we require a medical examination. Medical examination, you can do it in your home country or you can do it in Canada. So both are possible. So if you already know that I am going to extend, my stay for more than 6 months, in that case, do your medical in home country. It will be cheaper and easier to be done. If you are not sure, in that case, you can do your medical in Canada. It is going to be costly. It is going to take time, but you can do it on time if you already know. After 3 months, if you have decided, after 3 months of stay in Canada, in that case, start your process to do a medical. As soon as you do a medical, after 5 months, then we can submit the application for extension. Even if you don't have a medical, still we can submit the extension application without medical, and then you will get a medical request. Then you will book your medical, complete your medical, submit it to IRCC. So even without medical, extension application can be submitted. But if you have done it in advance, it is always good for you and it saves your time. So medical examination will be an additional document that you will require to extend your visitor visa in Canada. Okay, the next thing is refusals and reapply. Should you reapply after getting a refusal? First of all, let's understand what is refusal. Can you get refusal even if everything is right in the application? Even if you are applying for parents' visitor visa, which has really high acceptance rate, still you can get refusal. It is possible. So Canada gives random refusal without proper assessment. Yes, it happens. There are many kind of scenarios where we have seen that proper assessment was not happened and you get refusal even without checking the documents, even without checking the SOP. It happens in study visa application, it happens in spouse visa application, where everything was right. In the next application we get visa, but in this particular application we got refusal. It happens quite often. And visitor visa application is a different application compared to any other application. Visitor visa application is just a request to enter in Canada. It has no authority. It is not backed by anything else. When you apply for spouse visa application, if you are eligible, it has some authority. When you apply for super visa application, it has some authority. When you apply for PR application, it has some authority. It is not on the discretionary power of visa officer. Most of the time, if you are eligible, you can apply, keep reapplying, and you can get visa. It's not a problem at all. But in visitor visa applications, you can get random refusal without even proper assessment, and it happens quite often. It happens more often in visitor visa application compared to any other application of Canada. So that's a big concern. So in the current scenario, when Canada does not want many people to enter in Canada on visitor visa, because in last 2-3 years, visitor visa holders have created so many issues in Canada related to LMIA, related to asylums, related to using Canada as a donkey route to reach USA. So due to all those issues, right now the acceptance rate of normal visitor visa application, even if you are a sibling, even if you are a spouse, it is less than 10%. This is the current scenario. But even though for parents, the acceptance rate is more than 80%, still people get refusal for visitor visa application as a parent. So refusal is possible. So should you reapply after getting refusal? Yes, you can reapply multiple times after getting refusal. This you can do for any application in Canada. Canada does not restrict you to apply only once. You can always go back and reapply. Canada knows that they are giving random refusals. It happens, and we also know that Canada gives random refusal and we go ahead and reapply as well. So it is possible, we can reapply, it's not a concern. We should keep our documentation and SOP good. So if you did not submit good documentation and SOP in last application, then improve it and submit your application. But do not change documents or SOP unnecessarily just for the sake of changing. Many people are there, when they get their refusal, next time they come to me, when we apply for visa, suppose they get refusal again, then they are saying that you must have made some mistake, that's why we got refusal, and change something in the application. No, I cannot change anything in the application. If all the documents are there in previous application, if the SOP was also good, it was strong, then I cannot change anything unnecessarily just for the change of changing. So many people change things, either documents or SOP, just for the sake of changing, just because they feel that because we submitted something earlier which led to a refusal, we want to change it. Do not change things unnecessarily. If your documents are right, if your SOP is right, there may be a scenario you must have got a random refusal, or it may be based on the targets of the visa officer. That visa officer cannot grant much visa after that, so that's why you got refusal, a random refusal, and visa officer might not even check your previous documents and SOP. So do not change your SOP, do not change your documentation until unless it is necessary, until unless the previous one was not up to the mark. If previous one was up to the mark, do not change these things unnecessarily. Even when I reapply for study visa application, I reapply for spouse visa application, I do not change much in the documentation and SOP. In documentation particularly, I do not change a single bit in the entire application. The documents which we submit for the first application, we keep on using the same documents until unless we get visa. That is what we do with the documentation. We update a few things. For example, your latest salary slip, latest salary account statement. If you have received one new ITR, then we update that. But these are the updates in your previous documentation. These are not the new documents altogether in the application. So we do not change anything in the documentation. In SOP, when we reapply, we do not change much in the SOP. Most of the SOP stays same. The core of the SOP stays same. And we change a few, update a few lines on the top of the SOP. That's it. That's a request to reconsider your application. When we are reapplying, it has the justification there on the top. Rest, the core of the SOP stays same. So do not change anything unnecessarily for any visa application whenever you are applying for any Canada visa, specifically for parents visitor visa as well. So do not change anything here. Next thing to consider is submit old funds whenever you are submitting your reapplication for the visa application. In some cases, we do not have old funds when we apply and get refusal. Then you can wait for some time and apply after some time. Whenever your funds become old, then you can reapply for your visa application. That's how you can improve your visa chances, by submitting your old funds, and you can take a break between the applications and it can improve your visa chances as well. That is what you can consider. But if the funds are old, in that case, no need to stop your application. After 10-20 days of getting your refusal, you can reapply. It's also fine. It's not a problem. But if you receive multiple refusals together, in that case, you should wait. Take a break of 6 months to 1 year. Then you should reapply for the application. But before taking a break of 6 to 12 months, you can apply for at least 2 to 3 times to try your luck if everything is right in your application. Next question is, what are the documents required for your visitor visa application? So first is the invitation letter from the host. That is required. It should have the reason, it should have the details of the family member, why you are inviting, the reason of travel, all kind of things, funds, size of family, everything should be there in the invitation letter. So that is the first thing. So whosoever is calling you, your child is calling you from Canada, so that invitation letter is required. We have the sample of it. We can share it with you whenever you want to apply for visitor visa with us. So we are going to share the sample with you, and we can help you in writing the invitation letter as well. Next is your status, funds and income proofs of the host. So if your child is in Canada, then status documents, so all the permits with your child, all the funds which are available, income if your child is doing job, if your child is studying, the study related documents, all those documents are required from Canada. Then job or business proofs of the applicants, if husband wife both are working, in that case their job or business proofs, plus education can also be added in that, but job and business proofs are more important, so that should be added. If you are having a pension for something, for your job or something, that can also be added here, that you are a pensioner right now. If you are not doing anything, then you can skip this particular part. Financial proofs including liquid funds, so all the funds whatever is available with the entire family, with the parents, with the child, whosoever is there in family, so that can be added in financial capacity. Relationship proof between host and the applicant, so when to prove that child who is sponsoring you is related to you, so there can be a birth certificate or passport of the host who is calling you, who is sponsoring you, that can be there. Valid passports of the applicant. SOP, this is very important document, so we need to attach the SOP. Many people are there who apply for visitor visa or any other visa application without submitting SOP. You must not do it. SOP is one of the most important documents in the file. If you submit your application without proper SOP, even with the proper SOP, people get refusal. If you are not submitting your SOP, it means you are not submitting the other documents as well, and there is high probability that you are going to get refusal. It is not like we submit the basic documents and we get visa. No, it doesn't happen in Canada. Even after submitting everything correctly and even after writing a really strong SOP, still we get refusal. If we get visas for 80% people, then we get refusal of 20% people as well. That is also there. And we write the same standard of SOP for everyone, same standard of documentation. Still we can't control it, even after doing everything right. If you are not doing everything right, then most likely you are going to get refusal. So SOP is really important. Do not miss this particular thing. It is going to be there on the top. It is your marketing document. You cannot skip it. It is just like applying for an interview without having a resume or CV. If you are going to do it, most probably you are not going to be selected. So SOP is like that. It is really important. Next question is, do I need to submit flight tickets with return flight for the visa application? Yes, if it is possible, if you can arrange. Usually we submit dummy tickets. Yes, you can submit dummy tickets as well. You can submit real tickets as well. But usually submission of real tickets, it's highly costly. It can lead to a big loss for you if you get a refusal. So we usually submit a dummy ticket, but you should submit it. You should give your itinerary. You should give your plan for how long you are going to stay in Canada, what you are going to do in Canada. You should submit all those things. And if the tickets are also there to back your travel, to back your plan, it is always good. You should submit it. Next, do I need to submit accommodation proof as well with the visa application? No, you don't require to submit it because you are going to stay with your child. You don't require to submit any of the proofs related to accommodation. Neither Airbnb or hotel, etc. Those things are not required. You can always say that I am going to stay with my child, and usually it happens. So no need to worry about the accommodation proofs. You don't require to submit them. Next question is, can I work in Canada on visitor visa? The answer is no, you can't work in Canada on visitor visa. Do not try to do this. If you get caught by the authorities, usually CBSA officers, if they get to know about it, in that case you can be deported immediately and you can be banned as well. Next question is, can I apply for visitor visa extension from inside Canada? The answer is yes, it is possible. You can do that. It's not a problem at all. I have already explained how you can apply for the extension of your visitor visa from inside Canada. Next question is, should you apply for visitor visa or a super visa if the host is PR or citizen in Canada? You should always apply for a super visa if you are eligible. I have already explained about super visa, everything about super visa. Link is given in the description. Must watch that video if you are a PR or citizen in Canada. In that case, you must apply for a super visa, and everything related to super visa is explained in that video. So must watch that video as well. Next question is, do I need to apply for PCC for a visitor visa application? It is not mandatory. If you can take it easily, then you can submit it with the visa application. If it is not possible for you to get it quite easily, in that case you can skip it. Next big question is, I get so many questions related to this. How much funds are needed to apply for visitor visa of parents? First of all, there are no guidelines given by IRCC related to this. So there is no clear guidelines that you require to show these and these and these funds for visitor visa application of parents. Nothing like that. Usually what we recommend, Canadian dollar 5,000 per parent at least should be there. It means that these are sufficient funds to survive in Canada for 1 month. So usually when we apply for visitor visa, we apply for 1 month. That we are going to stay for 20 days, 25 days, 1 month of time. At max 40 days of time. In most cases, we share the plan like this. To stay in Canada for 30-40 days, $5,000 should be enough. And for travel and etc., everything for shopping, $5,000 should be there. That should be enough. This is with the parents. There can be additional funds apart from these funds, which are there in the savings of the parent. If there are 2 parents, then it can be $10,000. And if you are applying for the both parents together, then you can make combined fixed deposit of $10,000 as well. That can be done. So $5,000 per parent should be there with the parents. Apart from that, there can be funds with the child in Canada. There can be other sources of funds as well, which we include in liquid assets. There can be so many things in liquid assets, but funds are separate. Funds means savings with parents, savings plus FD, fixed deposits with parents. These are the funds with parents. But apart from that, there can be so many things in liquid assets that we are going to discuss very soon. So $5,000 per parent, if you are going to keep in their account or making a fixed deposit of it, that is going to work for us. It's also fine. As there are no guidelines for the funds, the mantra here is more the better, older the better. So minimum we have explained $5,000 per parent should be fine, but more the better. If you can show more funds, always better. Older the better. If you can show older funds like 1 year old fixed deposit, 2 years old fixed deposit of 10 lakh rupees, 15 lakh rupees, or in Canadian dollar, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. So older the better and more the better. It's always there for any visa application of the developed countries. That is going to help you. So always remember, more the better, older the better is the mantra. Next question is where to show funds. You can show funds in Canada or outside Canada. It is fine. In Canada, it can be with your child. So if your child is having the saving account, in that case, funds can be there with your child or the spouse of the child as well. So with them, the funds can be there in Canada. Outside Canada, it can be in the home country. In the home country, it can be on the name of parent, it can be on the name of child, anywhere, it's fine. So you can show both the funds in Canada or outside Canada, anywhere. So you can show funds anywhere, it's not a problem at all. Next question is, we do not have old funds on the name of parents. What to do? In that case, you can make a fixed deposit rather than showing funds in the saving account. So if you are going to show funds in the saving account, in that case, there will be a big entry. For example, you are going to show $5,000 in the name of parent in the saving account. You deposit that money in the account. In that case, there will be a big entry in the saving account in that particular bank account. So we cannot submit that statement. It's better that you make a fixed deposit of that entire amount and give the fixed deposit certificate. That is always better to show in case of visitor visa application. Next question is, can I withdraw funds during visa processing? The answer is no, you cannot withdraw funds. For example, you have given a balance certificate or a fixed deposit. Many people try to withdraw that entire amount and use it somewhere else. Do not do that. If visa officer is going to check your account and visa officer finds that you do not have these funds available right now, in that case, there can be a case of misrepresentation and you can get a ban of 5 years. It can become a really big problem for you. So do not withdraw the funds until unless the visa is granted, until unless the stamp is there. And it's even better until unless you travel to Canada, you reach Canada, do not withdraw these funds from the account or the fixed deposit. It is not recommended. You can get a ban of 5 years. I have already made a detailed video on 5 years ban and misrepresentation. I'll share the link of that video as well in the description. Must watch that video as well. So do not withdraw your funds after the submission of your application. If you have submitted that I have 5 lakh rupees, then keep those 5 lakh rupees in the account. If you have shared that I have $10,000 in Canada in my Canadian account, in that case, keep those $10,000 in Canadian account. If visa officer checks it any day, and if visa officer finds that you do not have these funds available now, and you misrepresented your case, in that case, you can get a ban of 5 years. It can become a big problem for you. Do not do this. Next question is how to display your financial capacity. So how you should do it? First thing is you should submit a CA report. CA report is the compilation of your entire financial capacity of your net worth. What is there in your net worth? Your property evaluation report, which is your fixed asset. So you should submit it. Many people say that why we require to submit this type of proofs? I require to spend more money on that. It is going to make your application worth. These are the proofs of your financial capacity. You must submit them. CA report involves first the amount of your property evaluation. That is your fixed asset. Whatever property you are having with your entire family, that you can submit in that. So that is one. Your property evaluation report is the part of your financial ability, financial capacity, and it is the value of your fixed assets. Second is your liquid asset. It is savings, fixed deposits, provident funds, mutual funds, stocks, gold, policies, car or any other vehicle or cash. Combining everything, it becomes your liquid assets. So that is the second thing in your CA report. Third is the income proofs. That is income of the family. So this is the third thing in the CA report. Combining everything, it becomes your net worth certificate, and combining all these things, it is your entire financial capacity. That's how you should show your financial capacity for any application. Any application for any developed country, whether you are applying for visitor visa, spouse visa, for your study visa, any visa, work permit, any visa you are applying for, you must submit CA report, property evaluation report, your liquid assets and your income proofs. This is how you can display your financial capacity for any application, and it is there for your parents' visitor visa as well. You must submit that. Next big question is, should I apply for the siblings with the parents in 2025? The answer is no. You should not apply if you are from South Asian countries. Right now the refusal is all-time high. You should not apply for the siblings for their visitor visa. So last year we have taken so many visitor visas for the siblings. We have done it for so many cases. With one parent we used to do parent 1, parent 2. With one parent we used to attach sibling 1 and we apply like this, parent 1 alone with sibling 1 and parent 2 alone. That's how we applied for the visas. We have got so many visas like that, but right now the refusal rate is all-time high for the siblings or for the spouses or any random application, especially from South Asian countries, from India, Bangladesh, Nepal and Pakistan. I will not recommend to apply from South Asian countries for siblings, so that is not recommended. Now if you're looking to apply for any other application in future, so suppose you are thinking if we get visitor visa, in that case fine, otherwise we will apply for study visa of the sibling, then in that case do not apply for the siblings. That's not recommended. So generically as well it is not recommended. Why in 2025? This is election year. This year Canada is trying to decrease the number of immigrants so that the current party in power, they can win election for the next time as well. So they are trying to decrease the number of temporary residents in Canada. That's why visitor visa refusal rate is all-time high. So generically in 2025 it is not recommended. If you can skip it, you should skip it. If you are applying as a tourist, if you are applying as a sibling or spouse, it's not recommended. For parents it is not a problem, you can apply anytime because acceptance rate is always high for parents, so you can always go ahead and do that. Now if you are going to attach a fake education job profile, so again it's a no. Anytime you are going to apply for it, if you are attaching fake documents, fake education, fake job profile, in that case it's not recommended at all, because when you do so, usually it is done by the agents, it is done under a package kind of system. On reach you need to pay. I will not recommend that. So if you are going to do so, it will stop you from application in future as well, because you do not know what kind of documents are attached in your application. Many people think that in this particular visitor visa application I am not paying anything. Even if I get a refusal, I am not losing anything in the process. You are losing your entire profile. You are getting a refusal on your name as well, which you need to declare for any visa application in future in Canada or anywhere else as well. So you are losing your profile. Do not submit these type of applications, neither in 2025 nor any time in future as well. No recommendation at all. You can do it if your job profile and funds are really strong. If you are having a really strong profile, still you can go ahead. In strong profile, one more thing is there, is your age. You can do many things with your job profile. You can do many things with your funds. You can increase them. You can have a really good job profile, but you can't do anything with your age. If your age is a young age, in that case, young age means below 30, below 35 is still considered young age. If you are having a young age, in that case, by default, you can get a refusal. A random refusal can also be there without even assessing your profile. It can be there. If your age is above 40, 45, then in that case you have crossed your young age. In that case you can have better chance of getting visa. You are more established in your home country, your job profile must be good, funds must be good, and you are not young anymore. In that case you can still go ahead and submit your application no matter what kind of condition is there. It is also going to have good visa chances. But if any of those things are missing, funds are missing, good job profile is missing, age is young, in that case you should skip it. This year you should not apply for Canada visitor visa as a youngster, as a normal visa applicant. Also you can still try your luck if refusal doesn't matter to you. Even if you get a refusal, I don't care. In that case, yes, you can go ahead and you can apply for it. You can try your luck. I usually don't ask people to try luck, but if there are some scenarios where people are like, okay, if I get it, I get it. If I don't get it, I don't get it. It doesn't matter. We can go ahead and we can submit your application, but usually I have explained who should skip it if it is skippable. Last thing to discuss, what is the timeline in India? So in India, the timeline is 10 to 15 days. Mostly people are getting results in 10 to 15 days for visitor visa or for super visa. In some cases, it is 4 to 5 months as well if the applications are old. Recent applications are getting results in 10 to 15 days. If from UAE, people are applying from UAE, then 2 months approximately is the timeline. So there is no fixed timeline, but recently we have received the results. This is one result, for example. We have received the results quite quickly. So just 9 days, in fact, we have received the result. Next is also similar kind of thing. Here also we have received the result within 10 days. So it is possible to get result really quickly as well, but it doesn't happen in all the cases. But in recent cases, we are seeing that we are getting results either from Bangalore or from Delhi. In most cases, we are getting results really quickly. For all kind of applications, we are getting results really quickly. If you want to apply with me for any kind of visa application, whether it is visitor visa of parents or a normal visitor visa application or study visa application, work permit application, complexities don't matter. Also super visa application, for which I have already explained. I'll leave the link of that particular video here as well. You can watch that video as well. If you are having a PR or citizenship of Canada, in that case you should apply for super visa rather than a visitor visa. I'll leave the link of that video as well. Or you want to apply for Canada PR as well. So whatever application for Canada you want to apply, or you want to apply for study visa with family for other countries, wherever it is possible, for Finland or for New Zealand or other countries, so we can apply for that as well. So for any of these applications, you can ping me on my WhatsApp number and I'll be happy to take care of your case. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. See you in next video.